Hi everybody, and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time, my name is Dave, and I welcome you. If it's your return visit, then this is actually my second video, so likely this is your first visit. And welcome. And so my channel is a channel that's going to be devoted to men talking about issues that they deal with as they age. I'm 67, I'm getting older, and I'm dealing with issues. You know, men have the unfortunate distinction of being known as not discussing things. You know, we're the ones who don't go to the doctor. We tend to suppress our feelings, especially, I think, if you come from my generation, and that would be the generation that's aging now, moving into retirement age, etc., etc. So, none of this is going to be medical advice, by the way, but today's topic is going to be my hip replacement, which comes up in 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks. And it is a big event. It is a real surgery. It's a big deal. Um, so there's a lot to it. Now, I have the unique privilege, or I don't know if that's the right word, but I am lucky that I've already had a hip replacement. So I pretty much know what to expect. I'm not scared. It's ultimately, you know, when it's over and recovery is done, then I'll be in much better shape than I am now. Currently, I can't really walk very far at all. I have limited mobility, and because of arthritis in my left hip, and it's not fun, and I had the same issue in my right hip, had the hip replacement, took care of everything, best decision I ever made. I never think about my new artificial hip. It never causes me any problems whatsoever. So, with that in mind, I just want to let everybody know that some of you might be in my position. You might be a man, and you know, you maybe have questions, but you don't know where to reach out and ask. Well, you know, drop a comment in the box, and I will definitely answer any question that I see, and you know, try to help out in any way I can. And like I said, it's not medical advice, but it is the voice of experience, and I'm really just going to tell you what I'm going to do when it comes to my own hip replacement, as it is coming right up November 3rd of 2025. So the difference between the first one and the second one is the second one is robotic, and I'm not exactly sure what that means, but I suspect it means it's going to go more smooth and even better result than the last one. The last one could not have gone more smoothly, nor a better result, but whatever. I'm happy to do it the way my surgeon recommends, and that is robotic surgery. So, in advance, 3.5 weeks to go, so I've got to start making a plan. I've got to make sure I get my walkways all tidied up, my whole apartment, which is humble, and I'm not the best housekeeper, so I am actually going to hire somebody to come in just a few days before surgery and really straighten up well to make sure that I don't have any obstructions. When I'm moving around the first few days, I might likely be medicated, and it might be harder for me to see an obstacle and negotiate it. So therefore, get them all out of the way up front, make sure it's all taken care of. So then the next thing I'm going to do is make sure all my prescriptions are available to me. I got to get them all filled just prior to surgery, or at some point prior to surgery, because I won't be able to make trips to the drugstore for the first couple weeks. They don't want you to drive for even longer than that, but at least 2 or 3 weeks. No trips to the drugstore, so I'm going to have to make sure that I have my important medication, my vital medication, my blood pressure stuff, um, filled prescriptions, ready to go. All right, so that's one part of my plan. My next plan is that I'm going to make sure I've got a nice area all fixed for my, they call it a recovery station. I'm happy to call it a recovery station too. Basically, it's a recliner that's comfortable because I'm going to be in it a lot, just stretched out. And again, first few days, especially medicated, I'm not going to want to be up and down a lot. That's for sure. So I'm going to have a spot where I can have everything I need within easy reach. And I mean to say my television remote, something to drink. In fact, it might not be a bad idea. I'm thinking about this right now, to get a little styrofoam cooler, and I could keep some cold drinks in there. I wouldn't have to get up to go to the kitchen. And just so I can be comfortable for several hours at a time. A recovery station, place to be while I'm getting better, especially at first, because although movement is encouraged, you're really not going to want to be moving around a lot at first. So, but it comes fast. It moves fast. Recovery, they tell you weeks. It's really faster than you think, and it's nice. So anyway, then we've got the bathroom to think about, and I want to talk to you about that. But I'm going to do that in a minute when we talk about the tools that I'm going to use to make my recovery easier and more, smoother. It's actually tools that I use right now for the most part. Before my other surgery, my first surgery, I was getting pretty immobile, so I was able to acquire some aids that made my life easier. And I'll show you what those are. So I used them before surgery. Back then, I used them after surgery. Even if you don't need them, they're great to be able to use, I think. And I'll go over those tools in a minute. I've got some all laid out for you. Then you got to make sure you have your physical therapy taken care of. And that, I suppose for everybody it's going to be different. That might get into medical advice. Listen to what they tell you about getting physical therapy. So, also, meals. I have one of my favorite toys, not expensive, was a vacuum sealer for food. And I'm going to, the week ahead of time, just make meals. You're not going to want full-on 2,000 calories a day while you're barely moving, and at first you're not going to be all that hungry. But when you are hungry, you're going to be hungry, and it's going to be. So you want to have meals prepared. First, maybe even cans of soup around that are broth based. Again, turning this to me. That's what I plan to do. I don't want to give anybody advice, certainly counter to what a doctor might tell you or a medical professional. My advice is to follow their instructions to the T. This is what I'm doing. Anyway, I'm going to make some casseroles and portion them out, put them through the vacuum sealer, freeze them. And, those things are great. You just boil some water, throw them in there, and so they go from frozen to ready to eat in a few minutes. and they're delicious. And, you know, good stuff, calorie rich, and protein, so you're healing. That's what I'm going to do for myself. Anyway, I'm about to go take you over and show you my tools. If you like this video, please show me by hitting the like button. Gosh, subscribe, and that would help me grow this channel. I want to reach out and touch as many people that maybe need or help, could use my experience as possible. Comment, tell me, especially if there's any subjects you want covered that you might be, struggles that you might be covering. I might have had the same struggle, or I might be able to research it for you and get some answers to you. I'm learning about AI, so I know where this is the source of all knowledge. So if you have a question, let's talk about it. Share this video, and that'll help me out a lot. Look, I'm just going to grab this off of here like this, and let's go look at the tools that I was telling you about that are going to really help make my life easier as I go through my recovery. The first one is this guy. It's called Sock Slider. Oh my God, this thing is so good. Let's get the light on here for you. This looks good. Sock Slider. This thing is the best thing in the world. That's the box. When I bought this, I bought an extra one because you can step on them and break them. It's not pretty, but it happens. This is the one I'm using currently. And put it on your socks. So you never have to bend over to put on your socks again. It's the easiest thing in the world. I wish I had discovered it as a much younger person, and I would absolutely have used it as my sock putter oner forever. Also, I want to show you these. I can't tie my shoes. All right, so I get Skechers. I hope you're seeing those.